Alright, this is what we're working on. I've already started, as you can see. Pallet forks. So I could pick up a pallet. Should come in pretty handy. This is how I did. What I ended up using is my auger head. The auger's not something you use all the time, so rather than making new ears, and I just didn't want to do that. So I just unbolted it. It was just the one bolt, and then I made my own kind of setup that bolts on, so you could unbolt this from it when you want to use the auger, which really isn't going to be very often. I've got I think the lighting's not too good here. I'm in and out of the shade. A quick release, so that's of course going to change the angles here. I kind of played with it to try to figure out what was going to work ahead of time, as far as the angle that it needs to be at, to make it, you know, when it's fully up and out, and when it's all the way, when you got the stick all the way in and the boom down, you still want to have this so it's got a slight bit of down on it. These are going to be what the forks will be attached to the bottom here, and this is so they'll slide back and forth, and then it just the weight of it will just push against here. I'm thinking about making little bars in between here, so you can kind of, there's enough slack, you can move it from one to the next, and then it'll stay in position. And that's it so far. After cutting out the sides, the wedges, you end up with this. The long is this. And we just need to clamp this down. Look good. Just the way they are, not to do a whole lot, and then you just tap it down in a few spots. And there we have it, the final iteration of the pallet forks. I did add some spacers so I could move it from, basically slide it over from one to the other to adjust the width. You know, just finish this, just putting sides on here, and I did add a bracket in here to strengthen this joint right here. Like I said, it's the auger head unit. Easy to take this off and put the auger head back on here. The only thing I added to it was these two extensions in the back, but they don't affect anything. I just didn't want to make the ears and everything, which I mean you could have done. I can do it, but it's just a little easier using something you already have. The auger, you use it, you know, you dig your post holes and you're done for probably a long time. Don't use it that much, and that's it. Works good. You really controlling it, that's a whole nother matter. It's touchy, you know, you got your the weight way out in front of you, so you can't pick up a whole lot unless you've added a lot of counterweight. I've got a bit of counterweight, but could use more. But just touchy, because you got to move, you know, as you're coming down or going in or out, whatever you're doing, you got to adjust the angle of the forks to keep them parallel. And so it's a lot, you know, it's not like a forklift where you're just going up and down, but it gets the job done.